Okay, that the last 20 minutes of the game is the best I've seen Argentina play in this whole World Cup. Throughout this whole World Cup, Argentina has had Messi as a just as a side who just scores. He doesn't do any work. They basically play a passive mid block and they just absorb pressure and then they work the ball up the pitch and score. They've been doing like that, and I'm wondering you can't do like that against teams that have counterattack and press. So what we saw with Argentina, as usual, they were playing passive. Egypt was doing counterattack. The intensity of Egypt was high. It didn't look like Argentina was intense. Intensity was high, but once it went down 2-0 with about, I think they started in once it got to the extra time when there was 11 minutes left, they upped the game. That's the first time I've seen Argentina press. That's the first time I've seen Messi actually press also, rather than just walk around waiting for somebody to do work for him. Everybody pressed. They put pressure on Egypt, and we saw the Messi that we've known from before, explosive, moving off the ball, passing, putting a lot of energy in, and he was the catalyst for that. That goal he scored was fantastic. Argentina put on pressure. We know that there was cheating in that game. We're not going to talk about that today. We know there was cheating. Egypt had been maintaining a mid to low block, very good. The right halfback for Egypt, he basically created 2 goals, one of which was taken away by doing a counterattack by himself, 1v3, and he slows down and waits for his other teammates to show up. Very good game. But when Argentina scored that first goal after they started putting on pressure, Egypt panicked and they sat back and they lost their composure because they knew what was coming. What it is that you saw 11 minutes. 11 minutes is not 90 minutes. What I mean by that is that Argentina can maintain a press for 11 minutes when they have to win. You know, these Argentinians, they have cocaine in their pocket too. They're like, we're not going to the World Cup. And another thing about Argentina, I have to give them credit. They're a dirty team. They go into panic mode. What I mean is that they refuse to lose, whether it's cheating or not. They refuse to lose. And what happened was they finally woke up in this competition. They didn't take the warning from Cape Verde. They still play that passive game against Cape Verde. Argentina hasn't been scoring the way they should score because they've been playing mid-block, absorb pressure, let the other team control the ball, and then when they get the ball, build it up. But that final 11 minutes is like they finally took a sniff of cocaine or some strong coffee and their eyes open. And Messi's work rate improved. Usually in this competition, now Messi has been a defensive liability. He just waits for the to do the work, McAllister and Co. and everything. But this time they put on forward, and this was the 2 stories. Egypt lost this game partly because of poor refereeing, but in reality, Argentina won this game because they woke up and they were desperate, and they said, "We no go lose, oh. We no go lose." What are your thoughts, Afolabi?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Mustafa. Egypt competed strongly in the midfield. They disrupted Argentina's passing rhythm. Their direct attacks repeatedly exposed, especially the spaces behind Argentina's advanced defenders. At 2-0, Egypt appeared to have complete control of the contest. But like you said, there was a turning point tactically. Argentina became more direct. They became more aggressive during the closing stages, and they started circulating the ball better. The fullbacks pushed higher. More players attacked the Egyptian penalty area, crosses, second balls. The Argentines pressed immediately after losing possession. And then Christian Romero became an additional attacking threat. So basically, Messi began receiving the ball closer to the penalty area. So once Argentina scored their first goal, Egypt's defensive organization sort of withered out. And then Argentina's aggression became even more serious. And then I think their aggression was even a little bit over the board. But that's a story for another day. But
Yeah, they were getting violent. They do a lot of things. Referees don't. But also Messi started playing that Maradona position after that. What I'm talking about, he became the playmaker. He started becoming the playmaker of old, because lately he's just sort of drifting. I won't call him a goal poacher, but he's basically drifts and just waits for a shot, like Mbappe. But he started, but no, definitely those guys were fouling. They were doing a lot of dirty stuff. The referees turned a blind eye to that. But I will just say that Argentina got desperate and did what they had to do. Last, before we talk about Egypt.
yeah, absolutely, you're right. They turned the match into a chaotic battle rather than a controlled tactical contest. They did what they had to do anyway, and basically they
Yeah.
got away with it, equalized, and basically won the game.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we want to talk about tackle. We know that was a bloody dirty game. Penalties given to then that from far that far back. VR. We're not going to talk about that. The whole world is talking about it. We don't need to. We know what happened in that game. Let's talk about Egypt.